vai? Tudo bem? Como está a sua família? Minha família está bem. Obrigado. Today we are going to learn different ways to say goodbye in Brazilian Portuguese. Okay? So farewell, we have despedidas. Despedidas. So goodbyes. Yeah? So farewell. Now, the first one that you may have heard before is the word ciao. Ciao. It sounds like Italian. The spelling is different, and Brazilians only use it when it means goodbye. So the Italians, they use if they meet you or when they are saying goodbye. If you meet a Brazilian and if you say ciao, they will leave. So it only means goodbye. So it is ciao. Ciao. You may hear different variations like ciao ciao, ciaozinho, but it is ciao. Then we have adeus. Adeus. But adeus is very strong. Yeah? In Spanish, they may say a lot adios, adios, but in Portuguese, in Brazilian Portuguese, in Brazil, we generally don't say adeus. If someone says to you adeus, that could mean you are in trouble. They don't want to see you again. Okay? So it's either ciao or até mais. Okay? Adeus is like the last farewell, maybe. Okay? Or probably. More likely. So até mais, see ya. Okay? Até mais. Até mais. Sometimes people just say até. Até mais. Até. Okay? So literally we have here until more, but it doesn't make sense in English. So see you. See ya. See you later. Até mais tarde. Até mais tarde. So the word tarde, which we learned, means afternoon. Yeah. In here, until more late. So until later. Yeah. Até mais tarde. So ciao. You can skip adeus and até mais. Até mais tarde. And instead of saying até mais tarde, you may choose to say até logo. Até logo. Até logo. See you soon. So that's the word for soon. And the same as logo, we have the word breve. So até breve. See you soon. Yeah? Between the two of them, it's more likely you hear até logo. We use a lot the word breve, but soon or sooner, but in different ways. But you can say até breve if you want. This is going to be more common. So we have ciao, adeus, até mais tarde, até logo, até breve. Let's try once more. Ciao. Adeus. Até mais. Até mais tarde. Até logo. Até breve. Okay? And as I said, you may say to someone, até logo. They may say, até. Okay? Now, some young people may also use the word, for example, falou. Yeah? When they are saying goodbye. The verb falou is the verb falar, to speak, but it's like, okay, see ya. Yeah? One may say, falou, okay, to say goodbye. It's just another young way of saying goodbye, but those are the normal, common ones. You're going to use those ones when you don't know exactly when you are meeting the person again, okay? Only this one here, até mais tarde, could mean see you later that day, or see you later at some point, okay? The other ones, they don't say anything. It's just goodbye, bye. So you may use any of those depending on the situation. If someone says to you, até mais, you may say tchau, tchau, até logo. Again, you can mix and match. Clear? So you could have a conversation like this. Oi, tudo bem? Eu estou bem, obrigado. E você? Eu estou muito bem, obrigado. Como está a sua família? Minha família está bem. Como vai seu primo? Oh, meu primo não está bem. Oh, até mais. Tchau. Okay? So that's how it would work. Now, of course, in between you may have some conversation. You could ask, what's going on with a cousin, or you say, I'm sorry, something. But then we would finish with one way of saying goodbye. Clear so far? Now we are going to have a look at some other ways of saying goodbye when you know more or less or exactly when you are going to see the person again. So let's go there. So now here we have até a próxima semana. Até a próxima semana. Pay attention to the sound of X here. Próxima. Até a próxima semana. That means see ya until see you next week. So until next week, see you next week. Até a próxima. The word a próxima is the next, and then semana, week. And até, until. Now this word here is going to agree in gender with whatever comes afterwards. The word semana is feminine. So that's why we have to say here a próxima, the next in the feminine form. If you have something masculine here, that's going to go to the masculine form as well. So let's see here. Até o próximo mês. Até o próximo mês. See you next month. See you next month. Até o próximo mês. So I know here when I'm using it, I know exactly or more or less when I'm going to see the person. So I know I'm not going to see him or her this week. I'm going to see them in the coming week. So até a próxima semana. But I'm going to see them or him, someone, in the next month, in the coming month. So até o próximo mês. And you can do this for anything here. Until next year, see you next year. Until next Friday, Saturday. And then we are going to see a few more ways to say that. Okay? So, now here we have até a próxima aula. Aula. Até a próxima aula. Aula is just for us here, it means lesson, class. So, see you next class, see you next lesson. Aula. And then we have, again, the word semana, next week. Até a próxima semana. And then we have the days of the week from Monday to Friday. Why? Because all of them from Monday to Friday, they are feminine. Okay, so here we just have feminine words. So até a próxima aula, até a próxima semana, até a próxima segunda-feira. Segunda-feira. Monday. Okay? Segunda-feira. So, meaning Monday, we have to have the whole thing as in here. That's Monday. Okay? And then Tuesday, we are going to add this as well to here. Até a próxima terça. Terça. Terça-feira. Okay? See you next Tuesday. And we are going to do the same with the other ones. Wednesday is quarta. Quarta. Até a próxima quarta-feira. Okay? And then Thursday is the word quinta. Yeah, I know. Quarta, but quinta. So the U here is not pronounced, but it is here. Quarta. Quarta and quinta-feira. Okay? And then comes Friday. Ooh, so see you next Friday is até a próxima sexta-feira. Sexta. Próxima sexta-feira. Okay? So those are the days of the week from Monday to Friday. Segunda, terça, quarta, quinta, sexta-feira. They are all feminine words. Now, a few important things here to remember as an extra information. They are actually numbers, first of all. Okay? So segunda means second. As numbers, they have masculine and feminine. Okay? If I say, for example, my second child, or my second house, or my second daughter, so that's going to change according to the gender. So if I say my second son, that's going to the masculine form, segundo. Okay? But as the days of the week, it is only feminine. Okay? And you may say, but why it is called second? Monday is called second. Well, it's a long, long story, and I'll tell you in a second. But the other thing is, the word feira, most of the time when speaking, people don't say it. Okay? So they may say to you, see you on Monday, até segunda. See you next Monday, até a próxima segunda. Okay, so it means the same thing, mostly. And you can hear either. We cannot say, for example, here, até a semana. Should be, if it's correct, até a próxima semana. But with the days of the week, it's not really necessary. It's up to you. And the word, if you do that, make sure you are not talking to a Portuguese teacher, either Brazilian or European, because they may be a bit fussy. Okay? I think we need to use the language and adapt to our situation. So I don't see a problem not using the word feira. But some people may say, oh, that's the word. If you're changing, it's not the right word. Well, language changes and evolves every day, yeah? So you can say até segunda-feira, all right? Now, the word feira itself, if you hear someone saying, blah, 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 feira. That could mean they're talking about the market, because the word feira on its own means the market, okay? A feira, the market. Yeah? In Brazil, it's very different from the market in England. We have the market in one place, but like for example in São Paulo, we have what's called Mercado Municipal, okay? So it's called market, municipal market. And it's like the market here, not the supermarket, the market. And but generally, feira, it's something that happens on the street, but it is mobile. Every day of the week, they are in different places. They are not in the same place as we have in London, all right? And that's the other meaning. But as the day of the week, it just means, it's just another part of it. Segunda-feira, terça-feira, etc. And because, you know, most of the time we try to reduce what we're speaking, many people will not say that word, all right? Clear so far? Good. Now, those are feminine words. Before we move on, let's just say them once again. Segunda, terça. And I forgot to explain that terça, if you translate it, would translate as 1/3. Yeah? Because here is second, fourth, fifth, and sixth. But here is 1/3. If I say third, is another word which doesn't fit with the days of the week. Yeah? If I'm counting the first, the second, the third, blah, blah, then I would say, instead of terça, the word is terceiro. All right? Now, so segunda, terça, quarta, quinta, and sexta. Okay? Now, let's have a look at some masculine ones. We have até o próximo mês, ano, sábado, domingo. Okay? And you can use próximo for all of them if you want. So see you next month, as we saw before. Até o próximo mês. See you next year. Até o próximo ano. See you on Saturday or next Saturday. Até sábado. Até o próximo sábado. And see you on Sunday. Até domingo. Alright? So those two, sábado and domingo, first of all, they are masculine. Yeah? And second, they don't have the word feira. Okay? And I told you I would explain why you say Monday as the second day of the week. It has to do with the church. First of all, long time ago, the days of the week were like in England, in Europe, yeah, making reference to the moon and to the planets. Moon day, yeah, and the other planets. But they say that the church at some point said, no, that's I guess a Catholic religion, so let's change that. Let's change to something else, okay? And they changed to numbers, and then it became the second, the third. And if you have read the Bible, the first day of the week starts on Sunday, yeah? So according to the church, the first day of the week is the second day of the week, yeah? Because Monday is the first. But for some people may say, oh, but Sunday is the weekend, so it doesn't make sense. You take as you want. So just the name of the Monday is segunda, and then so on, which is a bit confusing and tricky for some people. All right? So those are the days of the week, and also how you say see you next time. Até a próxima, até o próximo. And we are going to use those again when you know more or less when you are going to see the person. All right? Now we have here an example of a dialogue. Let's see if I have it on, that's on the book, but anyway, let's see if I have it here. No, I don't. So, we are going to do some exercise here to recap everything we have learned so far. But before we do that, let's try and have a conversation, the two of us, okay? Oi, tudo bem? Eu estou bem, obrigado. Como está a sua família? A minha família está bem, obrigado. Tchau. Okay, very good. At some point we are going to have a dialogue here with all those things, and then we are going to be able to, I will be able to read, and you are going to be able to practice it, okay? Why that doesn't happen? Just go back, try to put them together. I would advise you to write your own dialogue and see how it goes. Person A and person B, okay? Now our next topic here is exercise of recap, revision. So we're going to try to recap what we have learned so far, shall we? So the first one here says, complete com o pronome correto. Complete com o pronome correto. So complete with the right pronoun. Okay? That's the order of it in Portuguese. What we have to do here, we have to put those in the gap, and we have learned them so far. So for instance, the first one is I. Yeah? I am fine. And you know that it is eu. Eu estou bem. So say it to yourself. He is well. Ele está bem. Yeah? We are well. I hope you know, I hope you remember, but we is nós. Yeah? They are well. They could be the girls, the boys, or the mixed group. You decide. I go for eles. Eles estão bem. Okay? Here, you. Are you okay? Are you well? This is a question, yes? So now is, are you okay? And that is the singular one. And I know that because I look at my verb, and I know it is in the você, ele, ela form. So, are you okay? Yes. Você está bem? Você está bem? Yeah? Pay attention to the intonation, remember? Você está bem? Yeah? And then we have you again, but now we know that is the plural one, it's more than one. You guys, are you guys okay? Again is a question. So, você não. Vocês, exactly. Yeah? Vocês estão bem? Say to yourself, eu estou bem, ele está bem, nós estamos bem, eles estão bem, você está bem? Vocês estão bem? Okay? Now, our next one, it says here, exercício 2, responda, answer. Okay, so we will have a few questions here, and you need to give me the answer for those questions. So let me put them on the board first. Oops! Then you know the first one. So, como você diz, how do you say London em português? Como você diz London em português? And you go and say Londres. Very good. The second one is como você diz family em português? And I guess you know it is família. Como você soletra a palavra alfabeto? Como você soletra a palavra alfabeto? So now I'm asking you, how do you spell the word alfabeto? Okay, not the alphabet, but the word alfabeto, of course, in Portuguese. And then you have to tell me A, L, F, A, B, E, T, O. Very good. Okay? Then you have it there. Como se diz city em português? Okay? Como se diz city em português? So two things here. Remember I said that sometimes people may say to you, how does one say? Yeah? Instead of how do you say? And that is como se diz. How does one say city in Portuguese? And you know the answer, which is cidade. Okay? De, cidade. Alright? Now, a very simple question here. Como está sua família? Como está sua família? Any way you want. Bem, obrigado. That's my option. Bem, obrigado. Well, thank you. Yeah? Very simple and correctly. Alright? Como vai você? Como vai você? And you say? Estou bem. Eu estou bem, obrigado. Estou bem, vou bem. Alright? And olá. Tudo bem? You say, tudo bem. You could say tudo. You could say, eu estou bem. You could say, vou bem. Or you could say, beleza, legal. Alright? Clear so far? So just recap the revision of what we have learned so far. And the last one is some exercise to translate, so traduza, which means it's going to be you against the board. So let's see who wins, all right? So let me put all of them on the board first, and then we go through. So, first one here is father. So, como você diz father em português? Pai. Yeah, so father, pai. Como você diz brother em português? Irmão. Irmão, yeah? I'm from São Paulo, irmão. In Rio, they may say irmão. With the R is stronger, much stronger than in São Paulo. But São Paulo, irmão. Wife. Como você diz wife em português? Esposa. If you said mulher, that's fine. I chose esposa. Alright? Family. Como você diz family em português? Família. Very good. Ok? Família. Cousin. Como você diz cousin em português? Primo. Could be prima. I chose primo. Alright? Como se diz sister em português? Brother, irmão. Sister, irmã. Irmã. Right? Como você diz mother em português? Mãe. Mãe. E como você diz friend em português? Amigo. Alright? Clear? If you got more than 4, you won. If you got less than 4, you still won because you got something. Okay? If you got 4, you draw. Alright? But the most important thing is to have fun as we learn. So doesn't matter if you got 1, 2, 3, or all of them. Alright? Next, we are going to learn some numbers. So números. I hope you can see there at the top of the board, números, which means numbers. And you are going to learn numbers because we need to be able to ask people about their age or someone's age and also reply when someone asks about our age. So let's have a look. Let me put the whole thing from 1 to 10 here first. And then we are going through. Oops. Forget this part. It was supposed to come, so pay attention here. So say after me. Uma. Dois. Duas. Três. Quatro. Cinco. Seis. Sete. Oito. 9, 10. Shall we do it once again? Uma, dois, duas, três, quatro, cinco, seis, sete, oito, 9, 10. Alright? So 1 and 2, they have to agree with whatever word comes afterwards, if they are masculine or feminine. Okay? If I say I have one car, I have to use because car in Portuguese is masculine. We learned that when we were looking at the alphabet. And if I say I have one house, I have to say uma casa because casa is feminine. Okay? But if I'm counting, I just use the masculine version. Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, remember I'm from São Paulo, the sound of the S in São Paulo, 2, 3, 6. Yeah? Different from Rio. And here, 4 is qua, 4. Yeah? 7, 9. And the 10 is with Z, the sound is des. Clear so far? So let's learn now from 11 to 20. So 11 to 15 first. 11, 12, 13, 14. You may see like this, you may see like this. The sound is better. 14. You may hear people say 14, but 14 is the number, okay? And you may say, oh, but 4 is 4. I know. 4, but 14. And it makes sense here to be 14 because then we have 15. Okay? 15. So it's the same. We don't pronounce the U. 14, 15. Those are the most difficult ones to remember for a while, but you get that. So let's say once again, after me, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And let's see the other ones. 16, 16, 16, 17, 17, 17, 18, 18, 18, 19, 19, 19, and 20, 20. Okay? So, there are a few things here we need to know. First of all, I said 16, 17. You may hear, and it's also okay to say 16, 17, 18, 19. Sometimes I may say that way, but I'm more likely to say 16, 17, 18. I am a lazy person. Now, if you hear something very different, the European Portuguese is they don't pronounce the same as Brazilians, so it's very, very different. And also, if you see any different spelling, that means that is European Portuguese, not Brazilian Portuguese. For example, they write here with A, okay? And we write with E. They didn't change it when they did the change into the language. So, but we say, for example, 16, and you may hear Portuguese saying 16, 16, or something very close to that. I'm not Portuguese, but yeah, they don't say the G. So the 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay? Whereas Brazilians will say 16 or 16. Again, remember, Brazil is huge. There will be other places with different accent, so slightly different ways of saying it. But whenever you say to them, they will understand. Just don't go with the European accent there, otherwise you confuse the Brazilians. All right? So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20. Okay? Let's do once again now, from 20 to 1. So after me, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1. Yeah? Remember, if I'm counting, you just would say 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't say the feminine way. All right? Clear so far? Very good. Now, how would you say 21? If you said 21, that's right, that's correct. Yeah? 25, and you say 25, that's perfect. When you say it, that's great. When you are writing, actually, you have to say 25, 27, 29. So between two digits in Portuguese, we have the and, 20 and 1, 20 and 2, 20 and 3, and so on. Yeah? When you speak, we make a liaison, and the first E disappears. Okay? So I say 21. The E that you are here, there is the and, because I cut this one here, and I say 21. And we are going to notice that that's the last vowel, the vowel of 20, of the first word that disappears, and not the and. Because we are going to learn how to say 30. How to say 30 in Português? Como se diz 30 em português? It is 30. 30. 30. Okay? And if you want to say 35, you'd say 35. 35. 35. So notice that I don't say the A, I say 35. 45. So the H disappears. And I say the and. Yeah? 40. How do you say 40? Como se diz 40 em português? 40. 40. 40. Yeah? Now we get to the house of enter. Okay? Okay? And if I say 45, 45. 45. 45. Again, the A of 40 disappears. And the last one here, 50. 50. 50. 50. 59, 59. 59. 59. Okay? Of course, if you want to say the and the word properly, you may say 59, 35, 44, etc. Okay? But most of the time when you hear, we make a liaison, we say fast, and the last vowel of the first word disappears. All right? Great so far? Well, we are learning numbers because we need to be able to ask people about age and reply as well. So this is our next topic here. We are going to learn the verb that we should use and how to ask people about their age. Shall we? Okay, we have here perguntando a idade, asking the age. To be able to ask age or to reply to give someone our age, we need to understand that in Portuguese we don't say I am years old. We say I have years of age. So we use the verb to have to talking about age. So let's learn how the verb to have is in Portuguese in the present tense. So this is our second verb we are learning in this course. We know the verb to be, estar, and now we have the verb to have, ter. That's the infinitive form of the verb, ter, to have. If I put in the present tense, according to each person, now I have this. Eu tenho. Eu tenho. I have. I have. Eu tenho. Yeah? Look the sound here, N-H-O, nho. Tenho. I have. So that's in the present tense, and literally it means, so far here, I have. So later on when we are talking about possessions, we are going to be using this verb. I have this, I don't have that, etc, etc. Alright? You have. Você tem. Você tem. Remember the thing we learned in the first lesson there, when you don't need to say this, you can start from the verb, you can shorten here in colloquial Portuguese. That's going to happen everywhere. So I could say tenho. Tenho, I have. Se tem. Se tem. But let's carry on with the proper Portuguese. So você tem. Se tem, você tem. He has. Ele tem. Ele tem. She has. Ela tem. Ela tem. Remember I told you that whatever the verb is always going to look the same for você, ele, ela. Yeah? It happens all the time. And it's going to happen here as well. Alright? So we have. Nós temos. Nós temos. Or just temos. Okay? You guys have. Vocês têm. Vocês têm. They have. Eles têm. Elas têm. Depending who you're talking about. I said a bit longer here, and you can see that we have a circumflex accent over E, and the singular form we don't. Okay? Many people, some teachers, they may say tem to make sure people understand there is an accent there. But when speaking, you don't hear people saying this longer. They say the same. Okay? Você tem, vocês têm. It sounds exactly the same. But when you are writing, remember, if it's the plural form, you have to put the accent if you want to write it properly. If you don't worry, it means the same. It's just a small mistake. People will understand with or without, and most of them will write wrong anyway. It's good when you do it properly. If you make mistakes here and there, you are still learning, so who cares? You are making the effort to speak Portuguese. So, we have here tenho, tem, temos, tem. Tenho, tem, temos, tem. Just remember to use the right person with each of them. Of course, when you are at a work environment, if you are learning Portuguese because you go to Brazil to work, it's the best to do is to learn the right way, either speaking or written, and you adapt when you are there. If you are talking to people and you know they use the language a bit simpler, is the best approach is to talk as the surrounding area the same way they do. Okay, try to change the way you speak to be able to speak their language. It's no good if you go there with a very good Portuguese and talking to someone who cannot understand you because they use the language very poorly. On the other hand, you cannot go to your job there in Brazil and speak using slangs and colloquial Portuguese. You have to adapt to the situation. Okay, that's what I mean. Clear so far? So so far we are saying I have, you have, he has, we have, they have. Okay, and now we are going to put this into context of asking and answering about age. Our question is: quantos anos você tem? Quantos anos você tem? Say it. Quantos anos você tem? Quantos anos você tem? Quantos anos você tem? And that means how many. The word quantos could be masculine and feminine. It means how many years you have, literally. How many years you have, but that means how old are you? How many years of age you have? That's what they mean, okay? Not how many years you have left. So, how old are you? In Portuguese, quantos anos você tem? Alright? Let's suppose here, before we give the answer, before we go there, I'm asking about Pedro. Do you remember Pedro? Yeah, I just put Pedro here, which would be ele, and the whole thing keeps the same. Quantos anos Pedro tem? But the difference here, if I say, quantos anos você tem? You are going to reply, say, I am years old. Now the verb is going to change because you change for eu. And what is I have in Portuguese? Eu tenho. Eu tenho blá 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 anos. Quantos anos você tem? Okay, without the blah blah blah. Your age, alright? So eu tenho years of age. So eu tenho anos. Now, if I was asking about Pedro, which we are going to see here, the verb wouldn't change here because we are talking about Pedro, which is ele, and ele would also be in our answer. But because here we change from você tem, to eu, the verb has to change accordingly. Alright? So, eu tenho anos. So, let's suppose you asked me that question. So, ask me. Oh, eu tenho 54 anos de idade. Eu tenho 54 anos de idade. Eu tenho 54 anos de idade. Okay, I hope by now you got my age. Okay? And Also that I added something else to that, something extra, which was this one here. Just to make a bit harder. So I said, eu tenho 54 anos de idade. 54, 54. Ok? Eu tenho 54 anos. Could I have stopped here? Of course, I could. But I decided to add something that some Brazilians will do, which means of age. Eu tenho 54 anos de idade. But when you do here, of age, first of all, should be de idade, which with time became de idade, and then we made a liaison here and became one word, de idade, Eu tenho 54 anos de idade. Okay? You may say de idade. This is optional. You don't need to say. If you go up to here, that's great. Eu tenho 54 anos. Okay? You have several options to reply. You may say just the age. Quantos anos você tem? 54. You could say, I am 54. I have 54. Tenho 54. You could say, eu tenho 54. Tenho 54 anos. 54 anos. So there are a few ways to reply to that. And one of those would be adding this as an extra. All right? Some Brazilians will say, so it's good to know, even if you don't do it. When you do, the other option is to say de idade, or make it one word, de idade. All right? Now, asking about someone else, we are putting here ela, she. So, quantos anos Ana, our character here, quantos anos Ana tem? Quantos anos ela tem? How old is Ana? How old is she? To reply, remember the verb, the person is going to be here in the answer, so the verb doesn't have to change. So, quantos anos ela tem? Quantos anos Ana tem? Ela tem 54 anos. Okay? So, because it's the same person we have in the questions in the answer, the verb is the same. In here we changed it because it changed from você to eu. Alright? Você, ele, ela, the verb is going to be the same in the question and the answer. Vocês, eles, elas, the verb is the same in the question and in the answer. Asking about a boy is the same. Quantos anos ele tem? Quantos anos Pedro tem? And you say, ele tem 20 anos. Ele tem 20 anos de idade. Yeah? Cool? Clear so far? Very good. So, just before you move on, let's see how you do. Let me do a dialogue here. Oh, we are going to have on the board. I thought I would have to make up, but we are going to have a dialogue here on the board. And that's not the one. Let's go here. And this is my dialogue for you. And okay, so I have the whole thing here from hi to goodbye. By now, I think you may have written a few dialogues on your own, try to get the things right, but that's another sample, okay? So let me read through, and then you may repeat after me if you want. So, olá, tudo bem? Remember, that could be bom dia, boa tarde, oi, different situations, and instead of tudo bem, olá, como vai, como está, olá, beleza, olá, legal, tudo bom? Olá, tudo bem? Estou bem, obrigado. E você? I should have put a full stop here and then start a new sentence there. E você? Estou bem. Como está a sua família? Minha família está bem. E a sua? Minha família está bem. Como está o Paulo? Ele está muito bem. Quantos anos ele tem? Ele tem 22 anos. Tchau. Até mais. Okay? So, I expect you to be able to understand that because you can see. Yeah? Sometimes it's hard to understand when people are speaking because there will be a few situations that the accent, how their speed, how fast they speak, yeah, and how clear they speak as well. All right, and then you is that situation that you hear, you have to translate in your brain, then you understand that you have to think about the reply. And if you are hearing this, two people talking, it takes some time. The more you do it, the more you learn. All right, so let's do it again. You repeat after me, okay? Olá, tudo bem? Estou bem, obrigado. E você? Estou bem. Como está a sua família? Minha família está bem. E a sua? Minha família está bem. Como está o Paulo? Ele está muito bem. Quantos anos ele tem? Ele tem 22 anos. Tchau. Até mais. Very good. So see here, when I said 22, we have to say 20 and 2. So we have to write the and here. Okay? 22 anos. And I could add there of age, de idade. Yeah? But that will do. That's a dialogue. You meet someone, you're asking about them, you're asking about their family, then you ask about someone you know in common, which here is Paulo, and you ask a question about his age or something else you want to know. All right? So far we can ask those questions, so you know quite a lot now. Eh? That's great, great achievement. I would advise you again to go back, recap everything you have learned so far, try to memorize as much as you can the new vocabulary, watch this video as many times as you need, to make sure you understood and you can remember things. It's very important, again, not the speed, but to make sure you pronounce the words properly. Okay, and then we are going to move on from our next lesson, adding the second translation of the verb to be, the permanent one or the long-term one. And then we are going to try to understand the difference. Okay? I'll see you next time for your lesson. Thank you so much so far. Ciao. Até mais.